Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Hope all of you are fine. And in this clip, I am going to explore Philip Sidney's poem Loving in Truth, which is from the very poetry collection entitled Astrophil Stella. Now, first of all, we should know something about the poet Philip Sidney. Philip Sidney was a great personality of the 16th century England. He was born in 1554 at Fenhurst and lived a short life of 32 years, as unfortunately died in the Battle of Zutphen in 1586. Philip Sidney was really a very much interesting character because on the one hand he was a soldier and scholar, on the other hand he was a poet. Now the next important point that we must know regarding the poet Philip Sidney is of course that as a poet he was a literary figure, a tremendous literary figure, although lived a very fleeting life of 32 years only. He is, however, known for his sonnet sequence Astrophel and Stella, which is really a groundbreaking sonnet sequence in the history of English literature. As it is a sequence, then it is a collection of songs and sonnets consisting of 108 sonnets and 11 songs together, and it was published in the year 1591. His poetry gets repleted with the aspects of Petrarchan love, and truly his sonnets are in the Petrarchan traditions. Here we must not forget the point that Philip Sidney was a proper sonneteer, and following the trends of Wet and Surrey, Sidney composed series of sonnets and prepared a full collection of sonnets known as Astrophil Stella. In this regard, we need to know that behind Sidney's sonnets, there was the inspiration related to his passion for Penelope Devereux, who was his betrothed lady, but later she became the wife of Lord Rich in 1581. So Sidney did not get the chance, rather that his chance was lost to get united with his lady love. It means he lost the chance to get united with Penelope forever. Dear friends, to know more about Petrarch and sonnet forms and the types of sonnets, please go through my earlier videos lectures on the stanza forms. Now, our next point is all about the poetry collection called Astrophel Stella. You need to remember this sonnet sequence was published in 1591 and it contained in total 108 sonnets and 11 songs. And the titular words Astrophel is made of two Greek words, namely aster and phel. Aster means star and Phil means lover. So the word Astrophils actually means star lover. And the other word Stella, which is a Latin in origin and it means star. So the point Astrophil and Stella actually refers to two different persons. First one is a star lover, second one is all about Stella or star. So on the context of the poem, Astrophil or the star lover is the poet speaker himself, and Stella refers to Penelope, that is Sidney's lady love. So now concentrate on the poem Loving in Truth. You must know that a sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. Why did I mention this? Because Sidney's poem Loving in Truth, which is the beginning poem of the collection Astrophel and Stella is also a sonnet, and it is written in the Petrarchan tradition and Petrarchan fashion. So this poem is also a sonnet in the Petrarchan style, and thereby it's a Petrarchan sonnet or an Italian sonnet. And being the opening poem of the collection, this sonnet is also known as sonnet number 1 or as Loving in Truth. The next point that we must not forget is this poem is about the poet speaker's unhappiness, psychological pain, emotional toil, as he did not get the love of Penelope, who actually did not reciprocate the love and instead married another person, that is Lord Rich. Written in the style of the Passion of Francesca Petrarch, this poem is split in two parts. You know that a Petrarchan sonnet or an Italian sonnet is divided into two divisions. First point, the first section consists of the first 8 lines having the title octave or octet, and the last 6 lines is having the very title for them, that is sestet. In short, a Petrarchan or an Italian sonnet is made of two sections. First section is called octave, comprising the first 8 lines, and last section is called sestet, which is all about the last 6 lines of the poem. Then remember 2 3 single word themes as per the plot of this poem is concerned. These include unhappiness, that is all about the unhappiness of the poet persona, then emotional pain of the poet speaker, and just because of his unrequited or unfulfilled love. As we already got to know that his lady love Penelope Devereux did not reciprocate the love because she married the other person. The next point is all about the key points. That means here we will explore some of the key points as per the poem is concerned. Number 1, the poet speaker likes to declare his true love for his lady love in verse or poetry. Number 2, he courageously asserts his genuine love for Stella, that is for his lady love. Number 3, he wants to reveal his strong and sincere love for his beloved. Number 4, the poet speaker also expresses his view, that is, by recording his emotional pain, he would get the pity from his beloved. So that was a kind of thought, kind of hope on the part of the poet persona. Having this very mission, having this very vision, you can say, the poet persona started to compose a poem. Then go for the quick analysis. The title Loving in Truth actually means genuine or true love that Astrophel or the poet speaker has for or nurtures for Stella. So he genuinely or passionately loves his Stella or his lady love. Then line number 1. Here is the very word fain, which means eager, as the poet speaker is energetic enough to express or show his love for Stella in poetry. Line number 2. Here the poet persona refers to his Stella as dear sea, which connotes his true affection and genuine love for her. And here is the very word pain, which actually means the pain of his unfulfilled love, or it may also mean the pain of his composition, as he lacks the spirit to compose on his own. Line number 3 and 4. Here the poet speaker hopes that Stella will feel pity for him, knowing his present unhappy condition, because in these poems he will unravel his emotional world and heart and unhappiness. In line number 5, Astrophel depicts his passion and feelings of love. He searches for others' writings to get suitable words to record his painful thoughts. And here he refers to a personification by personifying the "oo," giving the human attributes through the word face. And the expression blackest face of "oo" actually refers to his dark or bleak state of mind. Line number 6. Here the poet speaker states that to entertain or please Taylor, he is studying fine invention or creation created by others. That is, he is going through others' significant writing. Line number 7 and 8. Here the poet speaker proclaims his action. That is, he is turning others' compositions to get fresh or fruitful source in the form of suitable words to provide relief to himself and to give solace to his seemingly unproductive brain, which has been withered or dried up by the flames of love. Then go for the sestet part, which comprises the last 6 lines of the poem. Line number 9 asserts that the poet speaker is not getting the support of invention, and that is why he is unable to create anything else in the form of imitation, because he is simply imitating the other's writings. Line number 10. Here invention is called nature's child, which is related to spontaneity rather than imitation. But the poet speaker's present state is all about imitation, as he is going through others' writings with the hope to find out suitable words to record his thoughts. Moreover, here is a contrast and comparison between the spontaneous creation and the literary imitation. The analogy is about the relationship between a mother and her child, which is relatively of primary importance. And at the same time, here is the point, which is all about the relationship between a stepmother and his child, which is relatively of secondary importance. So now the poet persona lacks artistic passion to compose on his own. Line number 11 and 12. Here the poet speaker compares his present thought-packed situation with a pregnant woman who is great or heavy with child. Here he also mentions that he is also helpless in his throes or labor pain, as he has been suffering from the pains of his poetic creation. Line number 13 and 14. Here Astrophel calls his pain truant or disobedient, as he is unable to write or compose, or as his pain is not obeying his heart, and as if it runs away from the poet speaker's control. Line number 14 reflects the very view that poetry is all about the spontaneous feelings of the heart. Thus, the mere imitation can never bring success or cannot create any composition or any creation. Thereby, in the end, the poet speaker realizes that he should look at his own heart to get appropriate words for composition and should not go for imitation. Rather, he should go for spontaneity so that he would be successful in his mission to write poetry and make Stella aware of his present situation. Thank you very much. Very shortly, another video will come on another interesting topic of the history of English literature. Thank you.